Principles we're going to talk about in this video do not just apply to Europe anyway. We could change the question to, are all Asians descendants of the Tang dynasty, or are all Middle Easterners descendants of the caliphs of Baghdad? So what we're really asking is whether or not every person living today is somehow related to medieval royalty.
On Quora, link in the description. Do any commoners in Europe or elsewhere have royal ancestry? How would someone find out if they have royal ancestry if they are not part of the nobility? By Mary Scot. Link in the description. Yes, this is quite common. I personally have surprisingly found more than one person whose ancestry can be traced back 1,000 years. And certainly on the program Who Do You Think You Are, someone from EastEnders whose name I cannot recall discovered to his amazement that he was related to distant royalty. On the same series of programs, Boris Johnson was proven to be related, albeit illegitimately, to most European royal families, by Ernest W. Link in the description. Did commoners in past or even present monarchies have any royal ancestry? If yes, how did they become born commoners? Yes. Even with immediate royal ancestry, you are still a commoner until you are ennobled. Prince George, Prince William's son, is technically a commoner, because he has not been given any title of nobility. He is called Prince by courtesy, but is not a lord. Queen Victoria had many children and most of their offspring are now commoners. By Scott Driver. Link in the description. Do you have any royal ancestry? Approximately 600 colonial or other early immigrants to America are known to have had royal ancestry. Most were second sons of aristocrats, who would not inherit their father's title and would only receive a small fraction of their estates. They came to America and other English colonies to improve their prospects. I have one such ancestor, who is my royal gateway. The last king of England in my tree was Edward I, Longshanks, Hammer of the Scots. He of course was descended from many other English and European royals. The standard genealogical reference on this subject is the Royal Descents of 600 Immigrants to the American Colonies or the United States by Gary Boyd Roberts, last revised 2010. Having royal ancestry isn't unusual, although being able to prove it probably is. I get less satisfaction from knowing it than many others do. But I admit that reading history became a different experience after learning that I was reading about my own family. Update. Another standard reference for this field was just released in a revised edition. The Royal Descents of 900 Immigrants to the American Colonies, Quebec, or the United States, 2nd edition in 3 volumes, by Gary Boyd Roberts -2024, by Gabriele Kembuan. Link in the description. Does the royal family have relatives who are not nobility, i.e. commoners? You don't need to look very far. Mark Phillips and Zara Tindalne Phillips are not nobles, but they are the direct grandchildren of Queen Elizabeth II, through Princess Anne, Princess Royal. They do not have any noble titles or peerage because they are descended through the female line and their father refused a title in his own right. But they are included in the British Crown succession. Andrea, Charlotte, and Pierre Casaraghi are the children of Princess Caroline of Monaco, Princess of Hanover, through her commoner second husband. Again, because they are descended through the female line, they do not have their own noble titles, but they are included in the Monegasque succession. By Seren Verch Dafydd. Link in the description. Did a monarch's descendants that didn't become kings queens eventually become commoners? If so, after how many generations does this happen? It depends upon the country and what period you are talking about. Let's look at the United Kingdom. Currently only the children, grandchildren of the monarch's sons and the great-grandchildren of the eldest son of the Prince of Wales carry the style and title of HRH Prince Princess. So in general the third generation of sons become members of the nobility and the fourth generation sons become commoners. For daughters it depends upon who the daughters marry. To conclude, at what generation does a royal become a commoner? It depends on the country. By Owned Bee Dogs on Reddit. Link in the description. Just a reminder, all the links above are on Quora.
A good example of the status quo is H.R.H. Prince Richard, the current Duke of Gloucester. His father was H.R.H. Prince Henry, the first Duke of Gloucester, and his grandfather was H.M. King George V. Prince Richard's oldest son now is Lord Alexander Windsor. Once Prince Richard dies and passes the title, Alexander will become His Grace the Third, Duke of Gloucester. He'll be a duke, that's no small thing, but because his royal ancestor was a great-grandparent, he won't be a royal duke. So to answer your question, assuming descent from younger siblings of a monarch, no unexpected deaths, abdications, and no marriages to or inheritances from other royals or noble title holders, 3 generations to go from HRH to plain Lord Lady, and a couple generations more to become a plain old Mr. or Miss.